So we will listen to the first song. I'm laughing because the funeral director is back there. He missed his cue. I have to scold him. So we will, When You Say Nothing at All by Alice.
When you say nothing at all, all day long I can hear people talking out loud. But when you hold me near, you drown out the crowd. Oh, Webster could never define what's being said between your heart and mine. The smile on your face lets me know you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you catch me if ever I fall. You say yes when you say nothing at all. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. Touch of your hand says you catch me if ever I fall. You say it best, say nothing at all.
I would like to offer my sincere sympathies to Bob, to her children Matthew and Lindsay, and her husband Jason, to the stepsons, to her children Chase, Mason, and Nova, to her sister Carol and her husband Jean-Pierre, to the very large extended family and adopted family, and many family and friends and neighbors, please accept my sincere condolences. We are together to bring peace and hope to our souls. A funeral allows us to share our feelings rather than to deny them. Today is a time to cry, to reflect, to grieve, surrounded by the love and support and friendship of family and friends. There is a candle burning beside the urn, and during the celebration, this flame today will represent Francine's soul and spirit like you have known. A flame can be a symbol of strength and hope and warmth. Also represent an angel who is looking over us and keeping us safe. In some cultures, the candle can represent wisdom and knowledge, and strength strong enough to push through obstacles and help us reach our goals and ambitions. Let this flame represent Francine's presence with us. Let it bring us courage and let it bring comfort in our time of need. Remember me with smiles and tears for all the joy through all the years. Recall the closeness that was ours, a love as sweet as fragrant flowers. Don't dwell on thoughts that cause you pain. We'll see each other once again. I am at peace. Try to believe. It was my time. I had to leave. But what of you I have from here? I see your face. I feel you near. I follow you throughout the day. You're not alone, alone. At this time, I will invite Bob to share energy with us.
Glasses. When I first met Francine, at the suggestion of my friend and colleague, Diane, I picked her up from her house and we went for coffee. And after talking for a little while, I realized I was becoming kind of strangely attracted to this woman. And I say it that way because I didn't think that we necessarily had a lot in common, but she really fascinated me, certain qualities that I really admired. She was feisty, she was determined, she was a fighter, and she was passionate. And the more we talked that evening, the more I realized that Francine had struggled on many fronts, not the least having been with Parkinson's 3 years earlier. But from that struggle, and largely on her own, she had managed to raise two great kids, Matthew and Lindsay. So over the next few months, and in no uncertain terms, she made it clear that she would live a life of adventure. And I wanted to share that with her. And so began our 15 years journey together. And we traveled. No less than 10 international trips in the first 5 years of our relationship, to Costa Rica, Yucatan, Honduras twice to visit my good friends Derek and twice to Europe, and many, many trips to us. We bought an apartment in Hualtuco, Mexico, and enjoyed that on many occasions with different members of our family. It was not easy at times. We walked and we Rome wasn't built in a day, but we certainly walked a lot of it that day. At times it was hard. She got tired, very tired. And she needed to sit down for a rest. But as soon as she could, she was up, and we were at it again. Despite all the great places that we visited, I kind of want to relate one of my favorite memories. It's not a wonderful scene or a great mountainside or anything like that. It was one of the first trips that we made together. She joined me in London after a course that I'd been taking there, and I was going to pick her up. I was hopefully standing at the right gate, and what seemed to be like many thousands of people all around. And as the people started to out of the gate, I got a little worried. She wasn't coming. And then finally, she was there, wide-eyed, looking around. Always remember, I'll never forget that big smile she had on her face when she finally spotted me. And I knew she was the one. We were married shortly after that. What else? Yes, Francine loved to renovate. If a friend had a project in mind, she was there in a flash with pen and pencil, paint, moldings, and finishing nails. And Ingrid and Susan can certainly vouch for that. When I bought my first Ottawa house, I lived in it for 8 years. First 5 years, I did a little. And then Francine moved in. And for the last 3 years, we did no less than 6 or 7 major renovation projects. It got to be that I would start to recognize that look in her face as she would around a room, and she would think, what can I change now? It drove me crazy at times, but the end result was always worth it. She took a house, and she made it ours. Unique and beautiful. There were so many good times and experiences, but time changed a lot of that. The last 2 years or so were very difficult for both of us. She lost much of her cognitive capabilities and was no longer able to do many of the things that she really loved to do. She was frustrated and she was angry. Dr. Elisa often would remind me, anger comes from fear. And she was scared. Although she realized it, for the first time, she was beginning to realize that this disease was likely going to defeat her. Why we're here today. Enough of that. Today is not remembering the end. It's about remembering the wonderful person that she was. A person who took joy in life and gave joy to many. Her 3 little grandchildren meant everything to her. They gave her so much comfort at a time when she really needed it. You know, many people have said to me that she was fortunate. I think I made a lot of mistakes, and there's a lot of things I'd like to do over. I do truly appreciate the sentiment. It's not easy to be a caregiver and a spouse. It's really not. But it can be very, very rewarding. But I would say to those people that I'm very lucky to have her. She taught me with her strength and perseverance that life is precious, but it's fragile. You should live every life, or live every day like it's your last. And I'm going to carry that message with me for the rest of my life. was my partner. She was my hero. She was my little jewel. And she was my love. And I'm going to miss her terribly.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing those words with us. Now I will ask Lindsay to share her eulogy with us.
Thank you to everyone who has come to show us support and pay their respects to Francine, but I call her Mom. My name is Lindsay and I'm one of her 2 children, but her only daughter. Now take it well, but I can certainly tell you there's no bond like the bond between a mother and her daughter. My mom was my best friend. She was also my worst enemy at times. But no matter our ups and downs, I still looked up to her when I needed a shoulder to cry on or advice to get. I can still picture our late nights, toast with Cheese Whiz on the couch while we watched movies like Stepmom or shows like Gilmore Girls. I can also picture the time I finally realized I had a facial piercing after somehow managing to cover it up from her for 2 weeks. Oh boy, was she mad. I told her I was expecting my first child, my son Chase. My mom was a planner. She had been her entire life. Things needed to be a certain way, and I believe she was like that because for so many years, she raised independently and with such poise. When she heard the words, "I'm pregnant," her initial reaction was one a pregnant daughter wouldn't want to hear from her mom. But I know she meant well. I know she was trying to protect me. What came as a shocking reveal was a bond between us that grew even stronger. She loved that little boy as though he was hers, and she made sure I was okay every step of my postpartum journey. Mom had been diagnosed with Parkinson's a few years before, but she hid the disease symptoms from us so well. She always persisted through it for the family. She enjoyed many international trips like Bob had mentioned, home remodels and new home builds, just a few. Her outline is something I like to say we've inherited. She also had a love of gardening, which besides my physical, something else I think she passed on to me. I have often been told how strong of a person I am. I struggle so many, yet still remain so positive and bubbly. That's how Mom was, if not more. She had so much together while going through 2 divorces, proving herself as a strong career-focused woman in a man's world, all the long battling an incredibly debilitating disease for almost 20 years. I could go on, and I have in my mind at night about the amazing person she was. But those things I'm going to keep for myself and share with my kids as they grow. Aunt Carol, you may not be my mom, but I know you, just like me, will carry the weight of our sadness and the airiness of our happiness for us now. Those moments I need a hug, I know we can surely count on you. For that, I'm grateful for you and love you. And Bob, I truly couldn't ask for a better husband for my mom. You allowed her to experience life no one else had, pulled her out of her conservative shell, and in the last few years of her life, held her hand and showed her compassion and care no one else would have. I am truly, truly happy you are part of our family. The kids call you Grandpa, and we love you. May you rest in peace, Mom, until we meet again.
I'm just going to say something really short. Having been so much younger than Louise and Francine, I always looked up to them for advice, and I always cherished their help or their to me. I know it wasn't always easy having a little pesky sister following them, but they all were there for me, and I appreciated all that. And family is so important, and we always were so close together. I will miss our little walks that we had been doing in the last few months, as I had been spending a lot more time with her, and I'm so glad that I did. Miss you already, Francine. Bob, thank you so much for having taken care of Francine. My mother was so worried when she was passing away that Francine would have nobody to take care of her. And I'm so glad that you were there for all those times. My mother would have loved you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. I think it's important right now that we take a minute of silence to reflect our own memories and our own thoughts of Francine. In a time of grief, it's hard or difficult to figure out, what can I say? What can I do? How can I help? Sometimes just a quick email. Sometimes just a quick telephone call. And of course, if we say, for you, for some reason that just doesn't sound right. But if we add a little word at the end of the sentence, how are you today? Seems to make a difference. And in the next week, month, year, don't hesitate to say to Bob and the family, how are you today? Let us take a few moments now to listen to the second song, The Prayer.
I pray you'll be alright and watch us where we go and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer. When we lose our way, lead us to a place, guide us with your grace to a place where we'll be safe.
la luce che tu dai
I pray we'll find your light
nel cuore resterà
and hold it in our heart.
a ricordarci che
When stars go out each night,
eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera.
let this be our prayer.
Quanta fede c'è,
That fill our day.
lead us to a place,
Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved.
siamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza, ognuno di noi vicino, simbolo di pace, di fraternità. La forza che ci dà
We ask that life be
il
kind
desiderio che
and watch us from above.
ognuno trovi amore
We need so we'll find.
intorno e dentro sé.
Not too late. Let this be our
Prayer,
Let this be our prayer.
just like every child,
Just like every child, need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved.
e la fede che hai acceso in noi. Sento che ci
A loved one passes away, it is a gentle reminder of the fragility of life, especially when the passing away of a dear one comes much too soon. And Francine's passing leaves a tremendous hole in your hearts. The passing of a loved one can be much to bear. The pain of grief and the sense of loss can be surreal and overwhelming. And associated with grieving are multiple emotions: regrets, anger, guilt, sadness, insecurity, anxiousness, and many, many more. And sometimes you feel all emotions within a short period of time. And it remains to share our feelings. And when there are waves of tears, you do not have to ride these waves alone. You can share with family and friends. Francine, to give you the strength and the courage and the hope to go on. We need to find encouragement, support, and guidance. We are never ever ready to say goodbye, even if the person is 99 years old. We are at an age where we would like to freeze at that point and just stay like that forever. When they are called home, it is much too soon. This is why sharing memories and remembering them is so important. I have a story for grandkids, but I think the older kids can also benefit from this story. When you are looking in the sky and you see a bright, beautiful star, just imagine that that star is a window in the sky. And when you are sending your love, asking for help to Grandma, guess who's on the other side of the window? That's right. Grandma's on the other side, sending you all her love, keeping you safe, and helping you if you ask. Today's is a reflection of the love and the gratitude that you feel towards Francine, your wife, your partner, your mother, your sister, your grandmother, your friend. The veil of mist and numbness will gradually disappear, but there is no time limit or specific time to say, this is my grieving time. Grieving takes the time it takes. Grieving changes in time, but there is no time limit. All that has life, beginning and its end. And life exists in the time span between birth and death. And life's significance lies in the experiences and the satisfaction that what we achieve in that lifespan. So from today on, look for serenity. Look for peace and hope through patience and understanding. Today's moment hopefully brings you some comfort because you know Francine's love will always be with you. Francine's spirit now lives on within you, and her heritage flows in your veins. And with time, you will find the strength and the courage to continue to celebrate anniversaries, important moments in life. Birthday, your anniversary, Mother's Day. All hard days to have to live through, but important to remember and celebrate. We know that Francine is at peace, and we know that she is looking for family and friends and keeping you safe. And her life, which was filled with love, will give way to sadness. When you leave here shortly, I hope you will leave with a feeling of having shared something special for a very special lady. When I am gone, release me, let me go. I have so many things to see and do. You must not tie yourself to me with tears. Be happy. We had so many years. I gave you love, and you can only guess how much you gave to me in happiness. I thank you for the love you each have shown, but now it's time I traveled alone. So grieve a while for me, if grieve you must. Then let your grief be comforted by trust. It's for a while that we must part, so bless those memories in your heart. I won't go away, for life goes on, and if you need me, call, and I will come. Though you cannot see me or touch me, I am near, with all my love around you, soft and clear. If you wish to make a donation in honor of Francine, the family is in the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research, or you can donate to Parkinson's Canada. On behalf of Bob and the family, I sincerely thank you, family and friends, for your warm and caring presence this morning. Your kind words and compassionate thoughts are greatly and deeply appreciated and will help the family with the grieving process. At the end of the last song, the family has requested to stay longer so they can share some time. The funeral director will come in and guide us as we exit the funeral chapel. Thank you again. Just listen to the song entitled Golden Heart.
She was swinging by the bangles in a Main Street store. A while before we met, the most dangerous angles that you ever saw. She spied her amulet, and she took a little leather for around her neck. That was then the start, the most dangerous lady on the quarter deck. She found her golden heart, yeah, found your golden heart. Then we swirled each other and the thread was spun to some Arcadian band. Could stop it from like a pendulum, just an old time in my hand. And shot me with a cannonball of history, a long forgotten art. I'd be turning it over as our words ran free. I hold your golden heart, I hold your golden heart. And nothing in the world prepared island shore. And all the time I sleep, I